Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and across the world to AM News on Global Television at this hour, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anita Patrick. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTime channel 276. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to pray for the growth and progress of the nation. The president, who was represented by the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, made this known to journalists at the Jumat service to commemorate Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary. Samuel Odi reports for Global TV.
The president, who was represented by Minister of Information Mohammed Idris at the Jumat service, thanked God for the peace and prosperity the country have enjoyed so far.
The president is asking all Nigerians to forget about whatever differences that there are. Differences will always be there, but there is the message of hope, message of unity, message of togetherness that all of us need to imbibe so that all...
At the National Mosque in Abuja, prominent Islamic cleric Imam Lukman Zakaria led the congregation in offering special prayers for the continued stability, prosperity and security of the nation. The cleric urged leaders to embrace justice, fairness and accountability in governance while calling on citizens to remain steadfast in prayers and commitment to nation building. The estates of Nupe, Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar and top government officials and members of diplomatic community all united in thanksgiving for Nigerians' journey since independence in 1960. He called for Nigerians to unite and shun tribalism.
For that, and we're moving gradually, but the sky is our limit, and we pray Almighty Allah to guide our leaders aright. We pray Almighty Allah to give us peace and security and development in this country.
Similar prayer sections were observed in mosques across the 36 states of the Federation, reinforcing the collective hope for a stronger and more united Nigeria as Nigerian clocks 65. The prayers offered today serve as a reminder that beyond policies and politics, divine guidance and commitments of the people remain central to shaping the nation's future. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the former governor of Oyo State, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has been officially crowned the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. He was crowned at the Oshemeji Temple in Ibadan, southeast local government area of the state. Ladoja, who had earlier received the traditional Akoko leaf at the Labosinde compound or Jaba Ibadan, is expected, has been given the staff of office and instruments by Governor Sheyi Makinde at the historic Mapo Hall at a ceremonial event. The All Progressives Congress stakeholders from Kano State rose from a one-day crucial meeting with a resolve to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term bid. The stakeholders who held the meeting in Abuja said the meeting is to assess the state of the party and to strategize on positioning themselves for victory in the 2027 general elections. Global Television political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
The APC stakeholders meeting had in attendance the who is who of APC in Kano State. Former governor of Kano State, former national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, led the deliberations along the Deputy Senate President, Senator Baru Jibrin, and Kano State chairman of the party, Abdullahi Abbas. Also present were serving and former members of the National Assembly, commissioners, local government chairmen, and other influential leaders of the party from Kano State. In his remarks, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje commended the unity within the party in Kano and reassured President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the state's unwavering support for his administration. He praised the president's achievements so far, particularly in infrastructure, agriculture, and economic reforms, noting that Kano people have continued to feel the impact of his leadership.
Critical stakeholders of APC of Kano State, we are here and we examine the progress, the successes that we have achieved in our great party in Kano State. We are also here in order to assure Mr. President, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that our party in Kano State, we are solidly behind him.
The Deputy Senate President, Senator Barau Jibril, described the meeting as timely, stressing that the APC in Kano remains strong and committed despite the outcomes of the last elections. He expressed optimism that with the renewed strategy and stakeholders' engagement, the party will reclaim its dominance in the state.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has done very well for our state and indeed the entire nation. We counted several projects that are being implemented. Others are ongoing in our state and indeed the entire northern part of this country.
The Kano State chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Abbas, in his remark, emphasized the importance of unity and active engagement of all party members at the grassroots level. He outlined plans to intensify membership drives, strengthen local structures, and ensure that every ward in the state is fully mobilized ahead of the 2027 elections.
Key points highlighted, I think, are two: strengthening party internal unity and discipline, and enhancing grassroots mobilization.
Resolution reached at the meeting included strengthening grassroots mobilization, reconciling aggrieved members, and intensifying membership drives across all 44 local government areas of Kano State. The stakeholders unanimously resolved to stand firmly behind President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ensure overwhelming support for his administration. The meeting ended with a vote of thanks and a renewed pledge of loyalty to APC both at the state and national levels. Ubong Osoro for Global Television.
To some judicial matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has rejected the no-case submission filed by Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the banned indigenous people of Biafra in terrorism trial. Justice James Omotosho ruled that the prosecution led by the Department of State Services has established a prima facie case requiring Kanu to open his defense. Ubong Usoro has the details.
Kanu's legal team has argued that no evidence linked him to terrorism, claiming his calls for self-defense were constitutional rights, not incitement to violence.
The judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious.
The challenge is prolonged solitary confinement. However, the court found sufficient grounds to proceed. In a significant health-related development, the court ordered the Nigerian Medical Association to form an expert team to assess Kanu's medical condition within the 8 days. This report will determine his fitness to stand trial. The next court session is scheduled for October the 8th to review the medical finding and set the trial date.
Well, there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, I don't think NIA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained, and we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So what?
Kanu has been in custody since his return from Kenya in 2021. The trial will now continue following the judge's latest ruling. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
In line with the agenda of restoring Abuja Master Plan, the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has flagged off the construction of the arterial roads N11, N16 and N40 and the SLS 03 in Kasana District Renewed Hope Estates in Abuja. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
The flag of health at the Karsana district was attended by eminent personalities, dignitaries, and traditional rulers who praised the federal government effort and its agenda on infrastructure development across the nation's capital. The Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, says the project will provide job opportunities, enhance the area, and improve all other infrastructure developments. He assured good quality work, stating that when the project is completed, it will provide good road network.
Mr. President directed that the FCT should provide infrastructure in terms of road network to link up the new estate and other estates within the district. We assure the residents of this Karsana district that were discussed with the contractors. We'll do everything within our own powers to send our funds are made available so that during the third year anniversary of Mr. President would have achieved the inauguration of this road network. These several of road network contracts that are going on are being completed and with the quality required. All we ask for is for the residents here and the community to support the company so that they're able to achieve on time.
The 10.5 kilometer road, when completed, will ease traffic and improve residential development, as it is expected to be completed in 18 months. The FCT administration and the contractors of the project appeal to the residents and commuters for patience to be able to achieve the project. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has commissioned 59 armored Toyota Hilux vehicles in Abuja to boost special operations and improve security response. He says the force is ready to take the fight to criminals across the country. Our correspondent tells us more. Insecurity in Nigeria and across Africa is growing more complex, and the answer must be readiness backed with resources. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says the new armored vehicles are designed for high-risk operations, offering speed, protection, and durability for tactical units on the field. He warned that the vehicles are not ceremonial assets, but operational reinforcements that must never sit idle or be diverted for private use.
These assets here today that we are commissioning represent our determination to move faster than the criminals, respond stronger than the threats, and assure citizens that their police are not overwhelmed but prepared.
The police chief noted that the operational vehicles are stronger tools to fight any criminal activities across the country. He emphasized that all operations with the new assets must remain lawful, proportionate, and professional. The IGP stressed that while the Hiluxes provide mobility and protection, only the discipline and integrity officers would transform them into true instruments of security.
Let me, however, state clearly that equipment alone cannot guarantee results. It is the discipline, judgment, and courage of the officers who operate them and the support of the people that will transform these vehicles into instruments of security. The Hiluxes will provide the shield, but our officers must provide the integrity.
Egbetokun assured Nigerians that more vehicles will be deployed in the days ahead to commands nationwide. While thanking President Bola Tinubu for supporting the acquisition, the IGP pledged that the police will justify the investments through improved safety and restored public confidence. Anietie Patrick, reporting for Global TV. You're watching the live broadcast of AM News at this hour. When AM News returns, we'll give you other stories in business and sports. Stay with us. Welcome back. In business, the Dangote Group has dismissed reports of mass staff layoff. clarifying that the ongoing reorganization at its petroleum refinery affects only a small number of employees and is aimed at safeguarding operations and preventing sabotage. The statement shared via the group's official X account noted that the reorganization is a necessary measure to protect the refinery from repeated acts of sabotage that have raised safety concerns and affected operational efficiency. The refinery confirmed that over 3,000 Nigerians continue to work actively within the facility and emphasized that only a very small number of staff have been affected by the reorganization. Away from that, the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, has unveiled a revised regulation that allows pension funds to gain exposure to gold through traceable gold receipts listed on Securities and Exchange Commission recognized exchanges. This innovation enables pension fund administrators to invest in gold without the complexities of physical storage, offering a secure and liquid alternative asset class. Gold receipts are part of a broader suite of instruments introduced under Pension Commission updated investment guidelines aimed at enhancing diversification, boosting returns, and maximizing concentration risks. And on the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has used his address to the United Nations General Assembly in New York to defend Israel's action in Gaza and to condemn recent recognition of a Palestinian state. His remarks were met with sharp opposition inside the hall, with dozens of delegates walking out in protest. Our Foreign Affairs Desk correspondent Mukhtar Kasim has more.
Facing mounting international criticism, Netanyahu rejected the accusation that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. He insisted that Israeli military is taking steps to avoid civilian casualties.
And this charge is so baseless. The comparison to genocide, wholesale slaughter of populations. What, did the Nazis ask the Jews to leave, kindly leave, go out? Did others, you want me to name all the genocidal leaders of history? Just go one by one. Did anyone do this? Did they say, get out so we can come in? Of course not. So the truth has been turned on its head.
Despite his defense, global pressure on Israel continues to grow, with calls for an immediate end to the conflict and the occupation of Palestinian territories. Turning to the question of Palestinian statehood, Netanyahu dismissed recent recognition by several countries, calling them disgraceful. His remarks drew a strong reaction in the chamber.
You know what message the leaders who recognize the Palestinian state this week sent to the Palestinians? It's a very clear message. Murdering Jews pays off.
As he spoke, dozens of delegates filed out of the hall in protest, while others applauded, underscoring the deep division over Israel's ongoing war in Gaza. The speech comes just days before Netanyahu is scheduled to meet with United States President Donald Trump, who has said he would not allow Israel to annex the occupied West Bank. Meanwhile, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas told the United Nations that Hamas must disarm and will have no role in a future Palestinian government. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
In Madagascar, anger over crippling power and water cuts has boiled over into mass protests in the capital, Antananarivo. Police responded with force, firing tear gas and rubber bullets as the demonstrations spiraled into violence. Mukhtar Kasim again tells us more.
Protesters had defied a government ban and attempted to gather in the city center, carrying banners demanding their basic rights. Young people led the rally, waving placards and even the pirate's flag of the Japanese anime series One Piece, now a global symbol of defiance. What began as a peaceful march soon descended into chaos. Riot police in white 4x4s fired gas and rubber bullets to scatter the crowd, making several arrests. In retaliation, demonstrators set fire to the homes of lawmakers and vandalized properties, while banks and shops were looted as night fell. Residents say daily blackouts lasting up to 12 hours have made their lives unbearable. Many blame corruption, mismanagement, and a lack of transparency in government. With a curfew now in place and schools ordered closed, Madagascar faces growing unrest. Despite vast natural resources, the country remains among the poorest in the world, and its citizens say they are simply demanding the dignity of light and water. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
And in sports, the Kwara State Sports Commission has dissolved all sports associations in the state with immediate effect. This was contained in a statement issued in Ilorin by the press secretary of the commission, Saeed Abdullahi, stating that the decision followed the board's resolution at its sitting on September 12, 2025, where members deliberated extensively on the activities of the associations before approving their dissolution. The commission explained that the move became necessary to inject new, committed, and passionate members into the association while also retaining some of the active former members for better service delivery. Well, that's it on AM News at this hour. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms at Global TV using all the displays on the screen. I am Anita Patrick. Thank you for being a part of the bulletin.